a lot of artists of varying kinds on Twitter. So I'm still the one artist I got to do some pictures of Asia came back. He was apparently doing an emergency moving, so that's why he was kind of gone. So glad nothing happened to him, because with everything that's going on, you got a town burning in flames, and you got a deadly virus killing people with weak immune systems. Who knows what could happen. Though he doesn't live in America, so I guess one of those two things wouldn't be a problem right now. Anyway, so to go over what's going on. So I learned a few things, did a few things. Now, just off on the stream just now, everyone watching now just saw me do it, but I gave a slot seed to Kaim, and how do you say her name anyway? Has anyone even verbally said her name yet? Seth? 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 No, I wouldn't think it's Seth. Seth? 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 I gave her one too then. Now, I did ask someone about a question I had, whether mortals can use abilities off the accessory, and they apparently can. So, I need to consider an accessory I want him to have. So, what I'm thinking... So actually, that would mean you could give people magic then, if they don't have magic, and that if there's any mortals that don't want any magic. Man, I would like to say the male name. Don't know. They have mysteriously unknown pasts. Actually, that could be a good idea for him. But then again, once he's out of mana, it's not going to be very valuable having a back shield much. That could be a good thing for him to have, actually. So she's still wanting the antidote. Kaim should have everything. And I believe they have learned everything he currently has. Yeah, this has a lot of Final Fantasy IX syndrome with the skills. I mean, when did the Final Fantasy guy leave Squire Enix anyway? I think Final Fantasy XI was the last title he worked on, wasn't it? I think. I can't quite remember. I think either 11 or 12 was the last number entry the Final Fantasy guy worked on before he left, I think. Feel free to correct me on that. But yeah, so they got everything. Now I'm assuming the same logic would happen if they have an accessory on, that they don't need to have it in one of those slots, I would assume. So probably give him that, because I don't remember what this boss does. And I got them all the upgraded weapons. Well, in 2001, 2002, I believe. Yeah, I think 11 was the last one, because 11 is where a lot of notable Squaresoft people left. I mean, several people still worked on it, but I mean, like, they partially worked on it and then left. Then you gotta also keep in mind, Final Fantasy 11 has had expansions for ages, so, I mean, many of the people worked on the base game and then they left kind of after that, so. But yeah, everyone has their best weapon currently at the shop. I bought all the spells, so as far as I'm aware of, there's nothing that we're missing shop-wise, maybe find-wise, possibly. I did stock up on mana and healing and revive items, so we should be pretty good on that front. Now, I don't know, do I want to use the 2 slots on them again? I think I want to hold off right now on the seed slots. I don't want to get too rushy with them. So the last thing I need to dictate is what I want to equip. So I do want over 2 magics on both of them. Probably keep the Crisis. We won't need Torn Tail now. So let's see. could be a good idea to have the anti on both of them, because, like I said, I don't remember what this thing is. I'm not gonna worry about the status thing. Now she had, yeah, she has point. Now, I don't know if it's active while they're learning it. That I do not know. Oh, he actually has that naturally. So we can actually give him something else then. I guess maybe see if we can see the boss treasures, I guess. See, that's the HP. Try that one. See, left squire, next, the company, he's safe from bankruptcy, others. Later than I thought. See, I'm not sure. 2004 would likely have just been around 11, probably. Maybe. See, the thing is, Final Fantasy 11 was in. The thing a lot of people always forget is Final Fantasy 11 was in development. The earliest mention of it I ever can recall is when Chrono Cross came out. I remember an article about them talking about working on an online Final Fantasy. So, Final Fantasy 11 was being worked on before the PS2 even came out. Now, I'm sure it wasn't in, like, super major development, as in they had assets, like, massive amount of assets made for it yet, but they were obviously doing things with it. Okay, so... yeah, because I don't remember if this thing has... I think this was like a giant enemy crab thing. I don't quite remember. I just do remember there was a boss here, and the reason I remember is because I remember it handing my ass back when I originally played this a long time ago. Didn't they announce... I don't quite remember that. Like I said, the earliest mention of 11 to me was... because, I mean, it wasn't called 11 then yet, though. There was information of them talking about a online Final Fantasy. It had no official name or anything. But since that obviously became Final Fantasy 11, that means, you know, it was in development. Now, whenever its first announcement with its official name ever happened, likely, probably, but the development of 11 was in development more than that. See, they probably were likely going to, and a lot of people always complained about that it should have been a spin-off, but, I really like 11, so. Anyway, cutscene time. Here we go. I still need to finish 11. It's, once I'm done with Persona 2 Eternal Punishment, I'm really thinking about going back to 11 and finishing that up. I was like halfway through the final storyline. By the way, if you haven't noticed, the accessories actually do change the models a little.
You know, this gives me the creeps. Let's just...
I'm going in.
Going... how?
Me too.
You have a... Fine, I'm going too.
What a whine. Graceful.
Why don't you just shut up? Have you seen any of this before, Kaim?
No. Nothing.
I just showered and I got dirt everywhere in my hair.
Oop. CGI.
Whew. All right. Man, that is way tall. Okay.
They honestly picked a good voice actor for him. I gotta give him that. A bumbling idiot. He really does the job on that kind of personality. Whoever his voice actor is, he nails it really good.
Okay, who ordered the seafood?
Are they eating the pipes?
No. They're feeding off the magic energy.
Big rope!
It was a snake.
This does not look good.
Okay, time to take bets. Are we gonna get our asses handed to us? Oh, this is a large group. Okay. See, that was physical. We don't have the all magical. So. I think all physical should be good. That don't look good. It got a special meter where it's drawing mana. Ooh. Pretty hard hitting too. So see, they're all in the front row, so don't have to worry about any back row shit. So they'll win. He's fire now. I gotta remember the elemental order. If I could snatch the book out here real quick. Let's see. I believe we were looking at 18 for that. Let's see. So, yeah, water obviously for fire. For wind, we want fire. So, ironically, they're actually opposites. But, I don't know what that one... I have one hit all. It is random element damage. Well, I remember this boss kinda because I had trouble with it when I first played this back when this game came out. Well, say fire is good against wind. I could have see if he can kill one of them on his own. If he can get one of them. Yeah, see, they're gonna keep doing that. Yeah, he can kill one with fire. Now, I'm probably gonna guess if I mortal all of them, he summons more. So what I'm thinking of doing is leaving one up. Because I'm willing to bet more will show up if I kill all of them. So he was fire, so I want water against him. So... Ooh, yeah, she got a one-hit kill. Yeah. I got freaked out because I wasn't sure if it was going to attack the other one, so I was like, okay. Nothing to absorb. Oh! He still gets a little out of him. Okay, so I'm going to ignore killing the other one. Because I just have a bad feeling. So, anyway. Let's just have everyone try Aqua. Let's see how much they can do. Because I remember there was some, I think, oh, nope, they appeal. Okay, so. Okay, so it should be safe to kill them then. He does massively more than they did. So, alright. You two just focus on doing that, and you just keep casting Aqua on him, because... As long as they only appeal one at a time. I got through disc 3 of the game before the Wing of Death. Couldn't bring myself to play it again. Yeah, if I remember correctly, you said this was a train wreck last time I was streaming it. If I remember correctly. Yeah, this was Dan's requested game, so now they're starting to appeal, and think might want to go back to getting them a little under control here. I'd say as long as there's only one, it shouldn't be too bad. But if there's like more than 2 at a time, I need to... If he can get his Torn Force, he can get that charge out of the way. Yeah, because I think the problem was when he gets his full MP, I think it's just game over. I think that was the problem with this. I think. Can't quite remember if that was or wasn't it. Yeah, I wanted you to attack the other bug, but well. Well, he didn't charge, so that's fine. Yeah, I think when he fully charges that, it's just game over, I think it was. I think that was the weird thing about this. Oh. He's dead anyway. Oh. Okay, so much for that. I was about to say, well, that was a lot easier than Winemble, but apparently that, oh, that's not good. He got the full thing. Oh, I don't like that. Yeah, I basically want to see the end without setting up my 360 again. Oh, I see. Get someone else to do your dory walk. I see how it is. Oh, shit. There's no way I'm going to be able to one-shot him in one set of rounds. He's still fire. I kind of think maybe having her top herself off, because I would imagine he's going to fire whatever the hell he does with full mana. God damn it. I hate how you have to have it held down first. I didn't have it held down first, so it messed up. Tail flail. Well, good thing I made 2 party members immune to paralyze. See, I couldn't remember if he had any status effects. That's why I put poison paralyze on my immortals, so that turned out to be a good thing. Defend, boy, defend! Eh, could have, but hey, that's not as fun. Because I just don't like the characters and the mystery, but seeing it here does make me want to try again. Well, you can always watch. It's your call on that. Hey, you can just heal everyone, and you can... Actually, it's, okay, the defense up is still up, so that's good. And the question is, how many of these things are there? Hey, 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 that's the back row. Leave the back row alone, bro. Now they're appearing a little fast here. That's basically what he does when he gets full. It's not that bad, actually. Because two of my characters are immune to paralyze, so that's not too bad. Throw one more heal round. I say 3 more streams. See, I just didn't remember what it was, but I do remember this boss fight was annoying when I first played this game, so that's why I equipped them both with poison and paralyze.
Okay.
Just tank damage with your face. Finish that one off. If I can get a perfect with her, she can kill one. I should just continue having him focus on it, because he actually burned it down pretty fast, honestly. Perfect! Get the fuck out of here. And now we shortening the numbers up. Got to the bottom of the world. Nice. That one. Yeah, I got Terraria with, about one of those GameStop sales. I think it was the, every one you buy, you get 10% off until 50%. And then it's 50% off of everything plus. Though I had to return 2 of them. Terraria I was able to exchange for a new copy. The other one I just had to return. That day after I exchanged it, because the top had the paint scratched, and that can risk getting disk rot, or it can just damage the data since the layer is thinner on the top than the bottom. It's thicker on the bottom, so that you can damage the data actually much easier on the top if you scratch it. So obviously I didn't want that, so I exchanged that. But I got to try Terraria with Dan for a little while. It was the first time I ever got to try it. Interesting, but it has a few things that are weird to me too. So no, I didn't get the perfect. The next turn, 2 of them are gonna die, so he gonna get some MP though. How many of these fucking things am I gonna kill though? Because I feel like, considering how easy they are, there's probably going to be another one. Or maybe not. Okay, well that works for me. I was gonna say, so far it's been pretty easy now, so. See, I think the problem that many veterans probably go in is like, oh, it's a big party, so I should use the hit all spell and wipe them all out. And they probably waste all their MP their first time trying it. And then, you know, the second one shows up while the other one's been respawning, and they're like, holy shit. Well, like I said, to be fair, I have memories of it, something being terribly wrong in that fight. I just didn't remember what it was, so I basically just was overprotective. So there's another game we won't play co-op. Wait, what? It's weird, so there's another game we won't play co-op. What? What game? Yeah, watch the whole thing just blow up. Now, I don't know if there's anything to examine around here. He is nothing if not prepared. He spends hours maxing stats and collecting items. I don't know about that. I mean, I try to decently do things off screen instead of wasting people's... I mean, I don't normally mind listening to someone doing grinding, but I just find it's kind of annoying to do on screen. Magic casting time reduced during critical... Ooh. Interesting. Very interesting. Well... Yeah, how much side stuff did they... Whoa, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I saw that. Oh. Okay, I was gonna be like, is there a secret item? No, I meant like the crafting menu is odd. Like, it's clearly more designed for PC. Where on Minecraft, they give you a few... Like, you can either... make it like the PC, or it kind of just... I don't know, just... The menu interaction in crafting is odd. If I was to do Terraria as like a, video... If I was to do videos on it... Huh. I'm going to assume that, fully restored everyone. Coolio. I would imagine I would want to try to get a few people. Oh, there's a secret chest there, fuckers. It said 4 or 8 players, didn't it? I think it said 8 players now I think about it. I think it's 4 local and 8 online. So, I definitely would want to see if more people would be interested in playing it if I was to do a series on it. Since we're talking about grinding, I won an eBay auction with Disgaea 1 and 2 PS2 in perfect condition for about $25. Terraria. It's basically Minecraft, but 2D side-scrolling, as opposed to a first-person 3D environment. That's basically what it is. It's basically 2D Minecraft. It has a few interesting elements to it that I saw that Minecraft's a little different. Like, it has a currency system in merchants move. Waiting for mods to get backed up to speed before I play it again. Well, I have the PS4 version. I would imagine there's probably shit tons of mods for the PC version. Come on, in we go. Watch it burn.
Okay, break time. Okay, just take it easy, guys. I'm so tired.
Okay, now what?
Control room.
Yeah, that's good. All right, but hang on. Are you saying to catch my breath?
All you ever do is complain.
No, I only complain about you.
We're going in.
Big, you guys have 4 sets of lungs. Don't you get out of breath? Oh.
Well, they're supposedly immortal, so.
I'm coming. Payment's worth this. Ow! Okay, go hit me. What? Don't move!
Don't remember that guy.
Got to be kidding me.
Move away from Grandstand! If you get any closer, I will shoot! Ready?
Okay, everybody, move like me. Move like they can't hit a movie. I'm the only one. Come on, everyone now.
What a dumbass.
Time, what do we do?
we gonna go for it?
No, we're not gonna go for it. No, there's a no here. I'm.
Restrain them!
Panic!
Hello? Let's run. I'm a fast runner.
We're going for it!
Here we go. Well, that explains the restoration point. Let's see, what did I miss here? Auto set storage and access to all chests from the computer with a search function. Never going back back to vanilla. Though I have it on.
Man, this is getting old real quick.
Though I have it on PS4 as well. Oh, it's young Hachi with your hands up. Well, he kind of had us surrounded. Looks like we have a Master Waste on our hands. Gotta be before dude learns his lightnings. See, you don't remember Hahachi? Yeah, I know Hahachi. Hahachi from Tekken. Though, I think he only became young more later in the story, didn't he? Like, he did some experiment to make himself young. I mean, the majority of the series, he was old. Though I haven't played a lot of the modern Tekken games, so I'm a little rusty on probably the last, like, 3-4 entries. Is he? Because I could have swore at some point, like, he did some experiment to make himself young or some shit. I don't remember. Fighting stories. Anyway, let's get going. So, we got, wow, there's a lot of soldiers here. We got a white magician. Well, that fucker needs to die. Problem is, he's actually in the back row. And they have no elements affiliated with any of them, so I'd say let's just go ahead and do a big hit all on all of them, because that's a big group. Actually, it might even be worth making them all do it, actually, even though their damage will be less. They'll be hitting a very big group of people. So that's... But then again, it's also a big chunk of their MP, so... yeah, I'm just gonna have him do it then. Probably should do a physical burial next. Yeah, that. Oh, but he has only single. He doesn't have it on everyone. That's cute. You think fighting games have... Well, you probably missed the Persona ones. Don't you remember those? Fuck. Those were insanely huge. And needlessly padded, too. I don't know about the story, but it sounds like a fighting game plot. And he had his own amusement park in 3. I don't remember that. But 3 was a long time ago, too. The last Tekken that was played for... What was the first Tekken game on the PS3? I think that was the last one I played, or maybe the PSP entry. I do have 7 from Black Friday, though, so... Too bad you will die! Never played Tekken, not in the fighting games. I'm kinda just a casual player on fighting games. The only fighting games I got severely into was like Soul Calibur and Tekken. I really did like Tekken. Dead or Alive I like too, but I'm a little more casual at that. Tekken, like I remember in the PS2 and PS1 I played a lot. Wait. Didn't I just kill A? Wait, they're getting replaced? Now he put... Doesn't show me the one with the burial. Ooh, he has... Ooh, he has a accessory that I don't have. I kind of want that. I don't know how much health he has, though. Go ahead and put shield all on everyone. I'm gonna try steal that.
Why are we having trouble with only 3 opponents? Archers, forward!
But General, our own troops are in the line of fire.
Well, then they better be able to dodge arrows. Move!
Archers, stance!
Oh, wow, that's a dick move. They're gonna shoot their own people. Oh, that shitty. I was hoping that would hit them too. Yeah, it was a bad mistake not to do that the first round. I should have casted the shield the first round, and I forgot to hold down the button while I was mumbling and bumbling. Yeah, he has heal. Yeah, he needs to die. Well, that guy, a lot of them weakened down. See, I played the Persona Fighters for the story only, although it was fun, but they simple, like, I don't, I'm not a, like I said, I'm very casual in fighting games, but, like, the simplified button thing doesn't feel fun to me. That's being done in a lot of fighting games. Like, I like Skullgirls really a lot, too. Skullgirls was probably one of the best, more modern fighting games I've played in a long time. Stupid phone. Never played the Persona Fighters, but they were fun. If you actually wanted a real story for a fighting game, definitely should check those out. They are insanely long fucking visual novels with fights. That dude stands deep in an uncanny valley. Better than Stardew Valley. Okay. So that one guy's like drifting in the... Oh, she got pushed back. Fuck. Then, I want to try steal that, that accessory from the healer, so... Yeah, it was a bad mistake not starting the first round with this. He healed one of the ones to his right. Damn it, I want that. So it looked like he probably healed that one, I think, from the angle. So let's attack this one. You go ahead, top people off a bit. Ah, bitches. Give me that damn accessory! Skullgirls was good. I liked Injustice. That was another with a story built in. I haven't really played a lot of Naruto games. Damn, they keep pushing our fucking tone back. Why don't I try to get that damn accessory? Him out of the way. Oh, it's gonna be really one of those annoying ass type of steals, ain't it? I wonder if the back, the shield effect affects your steal weight any. I wonder. Damn it. Give me the damn thing, punk. Because it says it was drop. Okay, so he drops it too. But depending on what it does, it could be beneficial to have a second one now. So I still would like to try and get it. When he's by himself, it should be really easy to steal then. He hasn't attacked at all. He's just healed and shielded, so when he's by himself, it should be... There we go. Give me that. Thank you, bitch. I don't know, the Dragon Ball Z ones were good. I heard the newest Dragon Ball Z one was really good, I heard. See, the PS2 era games were fun. The new ones suck. I heard the newest one was really good. I hear that was a pretty return to formula. The PS2 ones, some of them were pretty okay, even though they were done by Atari. See, I had more fun with it than the PS2 ones, but that's just me. Now, I know Bukai 2, I believe, is the one that's considered really mixed, because, like, the story mode's, like, batshit, like, completely non-canon at all. Like, I think if I remember correctly, it starts out with, like, Raditz and Nappa fucking fighting you, if I remember correctly. Your combo, let's see, no way, complete button. Now, I haven't played it. Like I said, I heard it's good. But I have not played it. So, like I said, I have not been liking the simplified button. Like, I get the idea to make people who aren't really good at fighting games be able to deal massive combos, but I feel like that takes the fun away out of trying to learn and figure it out. So I just find it, that's why I didn't really enjoy Persona 2 Arena, the two Persona Arena games in a versus aspect. Like, for the story and single player, it's fine, but like in the online, it just, I don't know, it's not as enjoyable to me against someone else. I played Guilty Gear, so maybe it clicked bell for me. Yeah, the people who, Ark made it, right? Finally got the steal. Dragon Ball Z Tournament Fighters, so it's definitely not a button masher. Two story was crazy, but Fighting Engine was good. If you're trying to learn, never play Fighters on simple. I just saying. Okay, so we can just finish off these assholes. Go ahead and get a good heal off on everyone here. Now, I don't remember who the fuck these... Oh! You know...
That was a close one.
I didn't even have to kill the Hitler. Well, it's a good thing I stole that then, because it didn't give me the fucking accessory. That's bullshit. Unless maybe you had to survive some amount of turns, but I don't know. I don't know if it was turns or just after all the melee guys were gone. That's shitty though. Okay, well, it's a good thing I kept trying to steal that then.
It's no use. Jansen, aim for the pipe. Time and I will draw them off. Ignite any magic energy leaking out.
Right. What? No, that's not gonna work.
There's no other way. If we don't break through, there'll be no investigation.
Jansen, do it.
Okay, I'll do it.
One CGI. Oh, there we go.
What is this?
The whole thing's just boring.
Wow, that was...
And they die. I missed the Nintendo eShop music. Sometimes it's not an option. What, they take the eShop music away? Did they update the eShop? I miss the Wii's shop music. Do 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 do. Why don't you buy some video games? Boop boop boop.
Morning.
You okay?
Yeah.
Hey, great game plan there, getting ourselves knocked out and captured. Hey, that's brilliant. Why didn't I think of that?
Don't rub it in. Every situation has a way out. We'll just have to use plan B. Or C.
Or D.
When you said to aim at the pipe, did you have a plan B or was getting captured plan B? How about a plan G, like get the hell out of here? I mean, you've evolved 1,000 years, and guess what? We're still captured. Huh? Brilliant.
Give it a rest.
Oh, I got plenty of time to rest. Because we're captured! Hey, Kai, come on, help me out here.
Yeah, take my side, Kime. Damn it. Wait. See, I just visited the 3DS eShop. Well, they'll keep those up as long as they're getting decent money. But it is I was surprised the Wii U shop is still up. You know, actually, I can actually explain why that's still up. Because the Wii U shop has immensely better library of retro games on it than the fucking Switch does. I mean, the Switch has been out for how many years now, and it barely has fucking anything. It's kind of ridiculous. Yeah, for some reason, they just... I don't know why it sucks so much on the Switch. So, that's basically like the only real use of the Wii U, aside from the few exclusives now. That's not the only other person. There's plenty of people with Wii U's.
Scared?
What do you mean?
Are you afraid?
Afraid? Yeah, I am. Of course I'd be afraid in a situation like this. And I tell you what, I'd be lying if I wasn't saying that I was scared of you as well.
I'm afraid too.
You're kidding.
Well, we don't know what's up here. Mr. Haichi.
A majesty, the Queen has bestowed upon me the honor of commanding all Numara's forces. I speak with Her Majesty's voice, and you shall answer my questions.
No, Haichi, I won't. I refuse. Regrettably got a Wii U. My mistake with the Wii U is I didn't buy the Legend of Zelda bundle. Instead, I bought the stupid Skylanders bundle thing, which was a waste of money, honestly. See, they're pulling the good games into the subscription model, but even then, they don't have. Yeah, they're introducing a few new games here now with the subscription model, but they're like when you compare the amount of retro games on the Wii U to the Switch, it's a joke considering how many years the Switch is out and how hackers have massively put all kinds of shit on the Switch already. Let's see, they tickle into the Switch's library. I agree, it's pointless. Ouch. I have a Wii U. I don't think the Wii U is pointless, but I do have to say I'm mostly disappointed with the fact that they didn't do a lot of interesting stuff with it. They had the same problem with the N64 and the GameCube, where a lot of other companies were like, yeah, we're just not touching it.
Go ahead, ask away. But no geography question.
What were you doing at Grand Staff? You are Uren spies, aren't you?
We're,
Just ordinary travelers.
yeah, travelers. That's what we are. Yeah, I'm the husband. Over there's my wife. And, Mr. Chuckles there in the middle, he's my buddy.
Oh no, this is all way gonna go bad. Well, there's two things to keep in mind. The Skylanders one was cheaper because the Zelda one had the 32 gigabyte hard drive, so it costed more. And there was a Black Friday special, but I'm faithful to my wallet. I am too poor to buy a system right now. By the time the price was going to drop, they swept the system under the... Well, I still bought it at a discount to a certain extent, but still, considering what would happen later, it was still kind of a waste of money. Especially when Skylanders stuff tanked after Giants. Well, Swap Force went okay, but definitely by the end and into the next Skylanders game, Skylanders just became massively, like, they plummeted. Yeah, but the N64 and GameCube sold on Smash alone. Well, to me, the Wii U version of Smash is probably one of the most poor Smash games out there, in my opinion. And I'm sure those people who will disagree with me, but I honestly think it's the worst Smash game. Has least content. There's like just so little to do compared, like, there's at least some kind of eventual story mode thing in almost every other entry. It like cut back on so much shit. Especially when you go from Brawl that had this giant imaginative story mode thing, and then you're just like, oh yeah, we just have this scale thing where you bet like a foreign currency to like unlock shit or stuff, and they're like, eh. Well, the N64 was not supported very well by a lot of third-party companies. The GameCube had support, but a lot of it then kind of bailed mid to end life. I really hope they get going with Metroid 4. Eh. They keep treating Metroid and Star Fox like crap.
Yeah, we were just surprised, you know, to see a building that huge. Well, on our trip here.
Ah, do you think I'm a fool? That's Grandstaff, Ura's giant magic engine. And we are already aware that there is a link between that thing and the recent meteor crash. What I want to know is exactly what caused it to happen. I suppose none of you know anything. You're not spying for Ura, are you? Or maybe Goatsa,
I'm telling you, we're just travelers.
Come on, we're not spies. We don't know what happened. Come on, let us out of here.
See, she's doing an okay job on this, but he's not doing a good job on this, in my opinion. It's like, you're obviously lying. See, N64 was a huge money sink. Well, yeah, sticking the cartridges at that time was still very expensive. So, it was just like the Switch cartridges cost more than discs. The N64's cartridge production costed more. GameCube was a pain for devs because of the small discs. Wii U was marketed terrible and a pain for devs. I would agree the marketing was very bad. It had really good ideas you could have done with the tablet controller, but only like Nintendo Land and Zombie U really did anything with it. About everything else just kind of used it as a map or menu. Let's see. Yes, Return. I hope Metroid 4 is return to good Metroid. I'd be pretty thrilled if it was a return to full side-scroll and all. I bet Dan would agree with that. It's going to be first person. That's really not shocking. It was first announced as a Prime game. See, N64 had a a handful of classic games for GameCube turned into a... Honestly, like, when it comes to consoles I don't own a lot of games for, like, the N64 is in there for me. Like, I don't have a lot of N64 games. And really, when you look at the kind of games I like, it makes sense. There was only, like, 3 RPGs on the fucking thing. One of them you could be a little more skeptical on calling it an RPG. And then, a lot of the wacky games I would probably enjoy never came over to us. They wanted in Japan. So yes, we know it will be first person. Doesn't mean it will turn the form. Wouldn't be awesome. See, the last Metroid game I played was Prime, the original Prime.
Ah, since when do ordinary travelers display such masterful fighting skills?
Well, there's monsters. If we're not good at fighting, how the fuck are we going to travel?
We're simply travelers.
Ah, we have a great deal of skill in loosening obstinate tongue.
Metroid Fusion was my first game. Now, wasn't Fusion the remake of the NES game, I believe? If I remember quickly. I have never played 2 and 3. I think I have a Wii U copy of 3, and I can't remember. I'd have to look. I can't remember. I think I have a GameCube disc, but it's scratched of 2 that I got for like 50 cents at Goodwill. And I think I have 3 on the Wii. I can't remember. I don't think I had the collection on the Wii. I can't quite remember. See, that's what I'm trying to remember. I can't remember if I had a copy of the trilogy or not. I'd have to look. I like Other M covers. I don't have a problem with that. To be fair, I haven't even played Other M. Though I do remember a lot of people hated the story of Other M, though. I remember a lot of people didn't like that. No, Zero Mission was the... So then, Fusion was... Trying to remember the timeline. Using missiles aside. Get him? Oh, Dan's starting a mob, though. Dan's a big Metroid guy, so I guess that probably would make sense. I hear Other M's gameplay was really fun, but a lot of people hated the story.
What is it?
As we thought, our current equipment won't be enough to repair the White Boa. The damage caused by the electrical discharge is too great. According to the tech officer, we'll have to bring it back to Numara and dock it for full repairs.
From what the tech officer says, there's nothing that can be done about it. We'll suspend the operation and return to Numara.
But I do have a sealed copy of Other M. Also, if I remember quickly, that's where Dan got his copy of it, if I remember. I believe I got from Goodwill for like $4 or something. They had a bunch of sealed copies. See, the thing, if I remember correctly, the thing people hated about the story was the general guy that she supposedly had a crush on, giving her orders on what she could and couldn't use throughout the story. If I remember correctly, that was the big thing a lot of people hated. See, now, in Return's defense, when a lot of people talk about the story for Metroid, see, in the West, we never got a lot of the manga side story stuff that Japan got. So, we look at the games because she's a silent protagonist, like, oh, she's super strong and awesome. She's like this fragile, emotional mess in Other M. But the thing to keep in mind, in a lot of the manga stories and stuff on Samus, she actually has, what is it, like, trauma. She has, like, a bunch of psychological trauma issues because of what happened to her parents and shit. So, Fusion was after Super and Metroids were destroyed and the environment suffered. Her father figure literally trying to kill her being incredibly powerless and anything because she has PTSD all of a sudden. For the Flat Earthers and the Green New Deal. What? All the manga has been basically disowned by fans. But I'm just saying, in the defense of some of the... Because when you look at, like, from the Western perspective, Samus has literally just been a silent protagonist almost her entire existence up to Other M. Like, she's literally had, like, no personality. So, from a Western point of view, you just see this super strong chick that's never expressed any emotions ever. Well, in the East, they have all these short stories and stuff going into how she's a psychological mess because of how Ridley fucked up her life and her growing up and shit. See, yeah, I read the manga. It's all eh. But, I can agree with one thing about that seems weird to me, though, is just the, you think she would just use something to save her life in the game, though. Because, that does ring weird to me, because it's like, oh, I need to use an ice beam, but I don't have permission to use the ice beam. That to me is kind of stupid, but the people who complain about her being, like, in more of a emotional state, I think that's a little less grounded, because there is stuff to back up that kind of thing. Yeah, and that's why I say, like, I think Other M's problem is it didn't make her a silent protagonist, and it used other material that Westerners have never really, unless you go out and look for them yourself, you never really got shown it. So I can understand, like, if you never looked into that stuff, why a Westerner would find it weird. But, like I said, if you look into it, there is stuff that justifies it, but I felt like it could probably, maybe they could have worked it more into the story better, maybe, for Westerners, but obviously the game wasn't developed for Westerners in mind. It just suffered because we didn't have the context to... You get what I mean? There's a perspective issue with the game. Because we don't get all the short story, drama, manga things that, like, I mean, fucking Nier Automata has, like, fucking 5 short stories to it now that we don't have any of them. Like, they get all these short story, drama, CD stories, and visual novel stories, and all this side crap that a lot of times we never get. And Metroid has a lot of its, at least with, like, Samus's personality shown in that material, but we don't have it. Like, as far as I know, none of it, literally none of it has ever came to America in any form, as far as I'm aware of. So I found Other M and Fusion to be quite similar with Samus's. Yeah, but yeah, I'm not a big Metroid person. I have played numerous Metroid games, but I've never beaten any of them. I got really close to beating Prime, though. I got really close to the end, and then I just kind of dropped it. Anyway, I'm going to continue the story a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Wait, what's our figurehead doing now?
I'll read a little bit more once we get a little of the story here.
Her Majesty, sir? She's in her quarters. We've been hearing harp music from there for a while now.
The Queen in a place like this?
A figurehead? What's that?
How very refined. Well, if she loves music more than meddling, it makes things easier for me.
Yes, sir.
That doesn't sound good.
Time to prepare for departure. Inform the troops immediately.
Yes, sir.
Sounds like Hihachi's up to something too.
What the hell? Figurehead? They can't be talking about the queen like that.
What's got you so angry?
That general's making a fool out of the queen. Hey, what's this?
I speak with Her Majesty's voice.
Crap. Man, it makes me sick.
You're worried about the queen? Aren't streetwalkers more your type?
Ooh, witty. No, Numara's what bothers me. Hey, what the hell kind of country is it? Sounds like a seafood dish. Hey, and you over there, are you somehow involved with Numara?
No. I'm not sure.
I'm sure. A glowing white monument in the sky.
Do you remember it?
It feels like my memory's returning. Bit by bit. Yours should be too.
I get dreams.
When you were talking so bitterly a while ago, was it about the dreams?
Oh, so the dreams scare you.
Yeah.
The truth hurts. Well, if I saw a little girl jump off a cliff, I'd probably be traumatized too.
My memories seem to flood my dreams. Are they just dreams? Or are they my past?
Are they reality? Or just dreams? Okay, where am I missing you? It is, let's see, see, it is realistic for to have it. No one in any realistic saying could go without being messed up in some way. Well, yeah, I believe like Woodley, if I'm not a lore master or Metroid, but like Woodley like attacked where she lived, right, and killed her parents, and then she ended up well, I don't know what they'll call those things, the statues where she rolls up in the ball to get in and gets power-ups. Like they, like somehow she survived and they raised her and shit or something, and then she got found or something like that. I mean, yeah, I would imagine you'd be pretty traumatized to some extent. Big boobs, badass. They should be damn. This suit is. I need a dip in the pool. These boots are so painful. I need a place to sit down. How about damn, this ball gets with every game. It's too old for this. I'm too old for this. I'm too old to keep rolling up into a little ball that somehow doesn't crush every fucking bone in my body. Actually, you know, have they ever explained how that works, actually? That's a really good point, actually. He's just like, why does she keep asking these questions? They raised her and infused her with the Kazu DNA and whatnot. By the way, is Woodley... He can talk in the manga? Really? See, I'm not really familiar with Woodley much. I know he's like in several games. So. Wham! Electrify it? Yeah, that probably would kill us. Well, he's a magic user, so... Let's see... Newsflash was still captured. Keep saying something about Wat. That's a bit weird. See, that's like some dark crystal stuff. Consumes other living things to restore body cell and can cells and talk. The manga is all pretty dumb though. Where did Metal Woodley come from? Is that a Smash? Probably a Smash thing, because you got like Mega, Giga, Bowser, and several other weird shit that's in Smash, so that's probably just a Smash thing. Well, maybe not. Okay, so I guess maybe it's not a Smash thing then.
Why is this always happening to me? You know, I could have just not woken up this morning. I'm not only afraid of heights, I'm claustrophobic. These are two things I can't cope with. Kai, say something. Kai, shut up.
Time! Well, great. So we get captured by the enemy, and who knows what the fuck is going to go on. I only played Prime once, so it's sad they ruined my side-scrolling childhood. Honestly, aside from handheld entries, you're probably never gonna really see a console side-scroller Metroid from Nintendo, at least. But still, it's not 100% the same, though. I mean, yeah, if you're just comparing the transitioning into a first person kind of thing, it's not bad, but it's still not the same type of gameplay. And there's a aesthetical type aspect to it either. Well, if it's quote-unquote never changing. I wouldn't say a lot of games never change at all, even if they stick to a lot of the similar roots, though. Usually, most sequels, even when they'll quite sim like... What's... See, a lot of times I complain about Twilight Princess not doing much, but still it did a few things. As minor as 2 hook shots, all. That didn't look good. And even Dragon Quest, wait. I'll comment on the Zelda
Sounds
thing.
like you just had a nightmare. Who's, Lirum? Must be some girl's name, huh?
I don't know. Just that it's very painful. Every time I have that dream.
I guess you really are remembering bits and pieces, huh? You look like you don't want to remember. But it seems like the memories are starting to surface anyway.
Well, there's no point in remembering them, is there?
I swear, Kine, you are such a pessimist. You know, a normal person would do anything to figure out who they were or where they'd been.
Maybe I want to cut myself off from the past.
You see, it's just like I said.
You just drop it?
What?
He can take his time and remember the past when he's ready. Can't you see? It's obvious that right now all it's doing is hurting him.
Yes, ma'am. Begging your pardon, ma'am. If Kime hates his memories, guess I might not even have to use this.
Yeah, just say that out loud so somebody can hear it. Man, those jaggedy fingers. Somebody take a stab at your finger there, bro. That's awfully flat point though.
Listen, if either Kime or Seth seem like they're starting
Seth.
to regain
That's
even
how
a
you say her
fragment of
name.
their memories, use this.
We've already literally had this scene already.
What is it?
Let's just say it's a magic energy crystal. Just throw it at them. That's all you have to do, and their memories will grow muddled.
That part we
Slip
didn't.
back into darkness. If it comes down to that, I'll triple your pay.
Let me think about that. Okay.
He did not mention the throwing it at them the last time, though. He just said to use it. He didn't explain how to use it, so he has to throw it at them for it to work. Okay. I see lots of text going here. Let me catch up on what's going on. So, the Zelda comment. If you've been a long-time viewer, you will know that I do have some sentiments in agreeing with that with Twilight Princess. I felt like Twilight Princess didn't do a lot of interesting things. It still was an enjoyable Zelda game, but it didn't do a lot different. And that's not always necessarily a bad thing, but it just kind of depends on certain elements. For me, it wasn't... For me, like, I love, like, Link to the Past-esque thing. Like, Link's Awakening, Link to the Past. Dan always tells me I need to play the 3DS game, because I always love those ones. So, I'm not a hugest fan of the 3D Zelda games. Like, I like Majora's Mask. Ocarina of Time's aged pretty badly, but, for its time, it was a pretty crazy game. But it definitely has not aged very well when you're playing the N64 version. Breath of the Wild is going to be very different. I watched Striketh play a little bit. It was Striketh's first Zelda game. So when he went to go play actual Zelda games and people were telling him Breath of the Wild wasn't an actual Zelda game because it's so drastically different, Striketh really liked it, Breath of the Wild, so he had a lot of trouble with the other Zelda games he's been playing so far, because they're much more heavier on puzzles, lots more puzzles. So I think Breath of the Wild will be very different for me, and I will probably ultimately feel it's probably too far from the formula of Zelda myself, and probably going more towards what like Skyrim and such are with more open worldness. I haven't played Breath of the Wild yet, and I know a lot of people really like it, so I'm not necessarily dissing anyone who does like it, or necessarily saying anyone who dislikes it is justified hating it. You obviously have the right to like or dislike it. Just look at Dragon Quest. Now, I think Dragon Quest is a very excellent example of sticking to a very similar formula with minor changes, but you could still argue Dragon Quest has changed in different aspects with each entry, but the fact that they stick to a lot of the core ideas still through most of the series is a very recurring trait in Dragon Quest. But they do change little things as well. Like I said, even though I complained that Twilight Princess didn't change a lot, there's still, like, obviously the wolf thing, even though I'd say, like, it doesn't really change much because you just still waggle the controller to slash around with your jaw. It doesn't really add a whole lot, but still, there are little minor things you could still nitpick that were different in Twilight Princess, and Dragon Quest still does do differences. When did I say they can't change? Zelda was the same as Ocarina of Time until Breath of the Wild. Blow Return was the one saying things shouldn't change. I think, like I said, when you get a sequel, I think, for the most part, there's always going to be a little change, even if it sticks very hard to whatever the previous game was. I think it's very hard for a game to literally have absolutely no changes, no matter how closely it sticks to it. You must have never played Majora's Mask then. Oh, Majora's Mask is a very interesting title. I know a lot of hardcore Zelda people hate Majora's Mask, though. And Dragon Quest only sells well in Japan for the most part. Lately, the newer ones have been selling well. Dragon Quest XI, to my understanding, sold very well. Dragon Quest IX sold pretty decently. Most of the DS ports sold pretty averagely. But yeah, for the numbers they want, they get them in Japan. Majora's Mask was great, but still pretty much the same game. I don't know. I feel like the thing with Majora's Mask is it added a lot of side quest masks you didn't ever really need, which was a little unusual for a Zelda game, because usually there wasn't a lot of side items. Usually everything, I mean, like, let's see, bottles would be one thing, sometimes the magic powder would be a side thing you didn't need to get, but for most items you need at some point in most Zelda titles from that point. So there were a lot of side masks you never actually ever needed to get. And it's a time management aspect. That was different for Zelda 2. None of the Zelda games ever had a time management system. And that's what a lot of people hate about Majora's Mask. While Breath of the Wild was an okay game, I don't think it was a good Zelda game. See, that's what I'm going to be like. I don't know if I'm going to, end of the day, think it's a great Zelda game, because I hear in the puzzle aspect that it's really bad. I hear it has some of the worst puzzles in the game, in the series. Pretty much the same, yeah, if same means totally different. It's the same engine. Now, it did reuse, like, almost everything from Ocarina of Time. It didn't make tons of new assets. And, you know, the excuse they did that is because, you know, he went into an alternate timeline of the series. Let's see. Some people like things to keep changing. Some people like... And see, that's true. You got people who want it to evolve and people who don't want it to evolve so much. They want things to stay same to a certain aspect, while some people want to drastically change. Like, look at the Resident Evil fan base. You have a segment that, for the love of humanity, like, I really want some old tank control survival horror games. And then you got the people who just like, oh, good lord, you crazy? That shit sucked and is awful and that. Whoa, thing just moved up on me. Yes, assets will be used, but the gameplay the gameplay, aside from the masks and some of the stuff the masks do, was generally the same. You know, like the swordplay shields and stuff. That's still the same. But what the masks brought to the board is the only mechanically hugely different thing. What, you know, the mask transformations and that. But when it comes to Link himself, that aspect was still the same functionality. I didn't mean assets we used. Yeah, okay, I'm talking about Majora's Mask being the same. It looked the same. Well, I mean, when the game's like 75% of we used assets with some modifications and some new ones. I mean, the environments are probably more so the stuff they devote more time to making with a few side killers. Is going to be, let's see, Breath of the Wild is going to be taking some Zelda 2 aspects. Ocarina of Time was a good, but yes, Link to the Past is amazing. The 3DS game is a level. Yeah, you've told me that. Honestly, like, I feel like Ocarina of Time hasn't aged well at all, honestly. Like, I feel like it would be really hard for a lot of people to play the N64 version. See, I hated the 3DS sequel. I haven't played it yet, so I can't really throw an opinion on it. Taking some aspects of the worst Zelda to date, that says a lot. Now, Zelda 2, I wouldn't say is the worst Zelda to date at all. First thing, you got the CDI games on that. Man, you people are commenting so much, I can't actually even move on with the game. I can't keep up. Zelda 2, Zelda 2, like Castlevania 2, tried to do a lot of different things. And I know they didn't turn out to be good games, but the thing a lot of people forget is elements that were introduced in those games helped flesh out elements in later entries. So they assisted in ideas that would be later used in the series. But yeah, Castlevania 2 and Zelda 2 weren't exactly the greatest entries in the world. Dragon Quest, but the Sega CDI games, those are fucking awful. Dragon Quest has gotten a lot less grindy for the main quest. I don't know, I grinded it. Of course, I took on the super boss in 11, so. But yeah, it has changed a lot in subtle things. See, one big change with Dragon Quest 11 was the fact that you could switch in party members in combat. I believe no entry has ever done that, so that's a huge change, like, to be able to switch in and out party members. It's a simple thing, but that's a huge changer when it comes to combat, because you don't have to worry about preparation as much. You can just do it mid-combat. All the manpower went to making Tingle. Tingle was really popular in Japan. Speaking of Zelda, I did end up getting Link's Awakening and beat it. The dungeons, puzzles made me feel so stupid. You know, one puzzle that I had so much trouble with when I was little, back with the original one, was the chess pieces. I didn't understand how they worked back then. I didn't realize you had to move the knight like an actual chess piece. I didn't realize that for some reason. Like Final Fantasy VII Remake. Wait a minute, let me check something here real quick. Yeah. Okay. Final Fantasy VII Remake, it might be okay game, but you never convince me it's a Final... Well, I mean, Final Fantasy has done so many things. I would call it a Final Fantasy game, but I would call it a... well, I don't know if I should say this, but I would call it more of a sequel than a remake. I'm not going to dwell into why I say that, but let's pad out 5 hours of the game. I do hear they improved a lot of interesting character interactions, but I would call it a sequel, not a remake. I'm not going to get into why. We will do that whenever I get around to playing it. LOLLA was a good game considering the original. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. Tried really hard to like that game. Finally, I knew I liked you. I would never pay full price for LA remake. LA. I'm not sure. Oh, you mean like, oh, you mean the Link's Awakening? Is that what you're talking about? The Link's Awakening? Yeah, $60 seemed kind of pricey to me for the Switch game myself. I'm so tired of everyone drooling over that game. I mean, wanting it, I think's fine. I felt like $60 was a little pricey myself, when you can obviously find the OG version vastly cheaper. We need to stop talking about Atticusmj. I knew we find some game we'd agree on. I love Zelda 2, my actual favorite. I'll get the game to yield from 5-bin. Good luck with that. Nintendo games usually never go on huge discounts like that. Zelda 2 was critical commercial flop. I want to speedrun Zelda. I've tried to play Zelda 2 several times, so that's why the next Zelda game went back to the original form everyone hates. I don't necessarily like Zelda 2 has its fans, Dan. It has its fans. I mean, obviously, that's why there are actual games that emulated that playstyle. There are several games that emulate Zelda 2's playstyle, but yeah, it didn't. It wasn't well received, that's for sure. But it did introduce a lot of elements that would later appeal in other Zelda games. See, it might have been received well if it was not a Zelda game and just a generic one. You know, you want to know a game that really benefited from Zelda 2's style? Now, it's important to note, if I remember correctly, Battle of Olympus came out before Zelda 2 in Japan and came after Zelda 2 in America, if I remember correctly. But Battle of Olympus, whether it was inspired or just happened to be similar to Zelda 2, really is a huge, amazingly huge, crazy game that uses Zelda 2's gameplay sticks. But everyone more Zelda, yeah. I like Zelda 1 style. I wasn't a fan of Zelda 2, but I'm just saying it has its fans, and there are games that emulated it. Force Wars sequels for the NES, so yeah, I agree with that. Sequels for a lot of NES games did too much change and shows you how you need to keep a certain core. Like, Dragon Quest always does it so well most of the time. That keeps a certain core aspect of the game while changing. But yeah, a lot of NES sequels did massive change. Even Dragon Quest 2's sequel did a lot of departures, but not in as much of a negative aspect like with Castlevania 2 and Zelda 2. Let's see if we can keep the chat going. He'll never catch up. Zelda 2 has its fans, so does 2 goals. Nope. Oh, I mean, it's true, but I'm not commenting on it. But at least the Zelda 2, I don't know any of the well, if you don't ever Google it. Just don't ever Google it. Anyway, let's continue on, shall we?
This? I got it from Lord Gongora. It's, you know, what you might call being prepared.
It's dangerous, isn't it?
Well, see for yourself. You use it like this.
Oh, he's got to throw it at them, I bet. It's up to you. I'm assuming there's nothing actually in here. It's nice that you actually get to change to different characters. Okay, grab the feet and drag him.
Uh-oh. Is he dead?
I imagine it made him forget, I would assume.
He went that way. Bring it on.
See, I don't know if he just forgets or... Because you gotta keep in mind, I did beat the Force Disc back when this came out, so...
Excuse me?
Yeah, he don't remember.
Huh?
What am I doing here?
What's with him? Has he forgotten his job?
He's temporarily lost his memory.
Whoa. It works.
That pearl must be a magic energy crystal.
Gongora. So that's it.
He said to use it in a pinch, and that guy was pinching.
Why am I...
What's up with this song, though? It's like, okay, I'm gonna take the most simple thing to be like... See, at least a fan of Zelda 2. I don't know of any. Let's see. Final Fantasy 2 took now. Final Fantasy 2. Well, Dragon Quest 2 at least had really good ideas in its changes. Final Fantasy 2 would ironically lead a lot of people to be very controversial. Went to the future. It took now. Actually, Final Fantasy 2. Here's something a lot of people don't. Let's see, the game's a weird direction for cutscenes. Reminds me of the first Hulk movie. something a lot of people don't know is the guy who made the Saga series. I don't remember his direct role in Final Fantasy II, but I believe he was one of the higher roles in Final Fantasy II's development. And Final Fantasy II would be, well, you could say the bastard child that would lead into the Saga series, because it used in many of the similar elements of where the characters progressively become better with the stuff they use versus just leveling up. So, well, Final Fantasy II was way ahead of the game in ideas. It just, yeah, it didn't pan out right on the NES. It was too early for such a ambitious idea of character involvement, involving that way. Like, I don't think the programming was possible on the NES. Because, I mean, what it led to is just people getting in the fights with weak goblins and having your characters nuke their own characters with magic and attacking to level them up. Yeah, basically, you could argue Final Fantasy II would be... Yeah, you would basically call Final Fantasy II the... I guess the how if is to Persona Final Fantasy II the Saga, the bastard child. But yeah, the guy who made the Saga series, I don't remember his direct role in Final Fantasy II, but he had a hand in Final Fantasy II, so it doesn't shock me. But then again, Saga 1 on the original Game Boy was able to pull it off a little bit. But then again, you usually had a human character or two, and you just dumped money because mutants were too random, so...
You, sir, are a soldier. Act like one.
Huh? Okay. But how come...
System Shock 2 into Bioshock. But, yeah. So... Well, Final Fantasy 2 had a lot of interesting ideas. They didn't pan it out right for... I don't know if it's because the NES just couldn't pull it off or it was too early, but it was an ambitious idea that, like you said, would evolve into other games with, like, Elder Scrolls and shit, using similar ideas where your character would level up from doing things, not just murdering things and getting EXP. Yeah, spiritual sequel. Yeah, I was like, what is the word I'm trying to think of on tip of my tongue? Spiritual sequel. There you go. Thank you.
Listen, we're just ordinary travelers, but remember, there was this misunderstanding. Yeah, and we got thrown in the slammer. I hate to ask, but I have a hair appointment.
But don't I need permission? You know, to release you guys?
Well, that's what you came here to do, right? You came here to let us falsely accuse prisoners. Those are your words, not mine. Out of the brig. It's obvious. There was a mistake. You see? Come on. Let's go.
Falsely accused. Those were your words, not mine.
I distinctly heard your boss tell you to come down and let us out. Hey, congratulations on the promotion, by the way. What? Oh, that's right. You slipped and hit your head. Yeah, it looks like you've forgotten your duty.
Oh, okay. How embarrassing.
Wow. Speaking of Saga, it looks like there's a newish one. We recently, I think 3 months ago or something, we got, what is it called? Scarlet? For the Vita? Which Japan's had for like a few years. I think it was Scarlet. I can't quite remember. I think it was Scarlet. But yeah, we didn't get a physical version. The only physical version that exists is the Japanese version, which is a shame. I was completely shocked that we fucking got localized, though. I was like, wow, I didn't expect that to fucking get localized at all. That was shocking. Unless you're talking about, unless you're talking about the romance localization. Because, what was it, 2 years ago they localized a new version of Saga Romancing 2, and then recently they're doing Romancing 3. I'm very tempted to get those. I own the Super Nintendo versions, so Ah. I'm very tempted to get those remakes, or I guess remasters, or the kind of mixture of different things, because up they up the graphics but keep the graphics to a certain extent, and I think they added animations to some of the bosses in that too, I think. So it's kind of a mix of different things.
Look, see that doohickey there? Yeah, it's probably plugged into a magic engine. I don't know. Maybe it will open the door.
More of a remaster, I'd say, since it's sticking to its original style and gameplay versus going to a, you know, like from 2D to 3D-esque.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, that looks right.
Man, this is the longest prison scene ever because of all this.
You know, I'm sorry you had to tell me how to do my job. Okay, almost got it.
Worst god ever.
Hang in there, soldier. So long, buddy.
Oh, okay. Farewell. Take care.
You're a sneaky one, aren't you?
What do you mean? It worked. Thanks for the help.
Seriously, you could charm the skin off a snake with that kind of tongue.
I don't know. It seems too obvious that he's lying to me when he talks.
It still bothers me why Gongora would give you something like that pearl. But I should thank you. Just this once. Right, Kaim?
Yeah.
Yeah, guys have a sticky situation, yeah? Yeah, save point. Sweet. Probably want to do a separate save, though. Yeah, there's no audio there, so probably have it on now. Anyway, the whole conversation thing made